welcome to Lecture Loops. Today we are going to learn about operators in Java. So there are basically various types of operators in Java like arithmetic operators, assignment operator, increment decrement operator, relational operators, logical operators, conditional operator, and also the bitwise operators. We can also divide these operators in the categories of unary, binary and ternary on the basis of number of operands. So basically we are going to cover all these operators in this video, so be with me. So first of all, without wasting time, we are going to start with arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators, basically there are 5 arithmetic operators in Java. Number 1 is addition, number 2 is subtraction, then multiplication, then division, and then mod division. So division and mod division, the difference between them is division operator returns the quotient, while the modulo division operator returns the remainder. Okay, all these are binary operators, so they need 2 values to work with. Okay, now we'll see with the help of an example how these work actually. And one more important thing, that all these operators work with various data types like byte, short, int, long, double, float, etc. and even with characters also, because in Java the character is stored as ASCII value, so we can perform arithmetic operation with character values also. Okay, so let's see here that we have taken a variable x as 43 and then y, the value is 2. Okay, we have assigned value 2 to y. So now we are performing here in this example. In the first print, we are performing addition, then subtraction, then multiplication, then division, and then modulo division. Yes, you can also see that we have used plus operator here, but here the plus operator is not performing any type of addition. Basically it is used for string concatenation. So basically this is string, and it will concatenate the result. Okay, it will automatically convert it in the form of string, and then it will concatenate these 2 string values, and it will display it on the screen. Okay, so yes, we have to put it inside comment, and now we can compile it. Let's see the result. Yes, you can see that it is addition is performed, then subtraction, multiplication, and then division. It is returning quotient, and here we are getting the remainder. Okay, so in this way we can use these arithmetic operators. Now we come to assignment operators, which are very simple. So basically you can also see that we have used assignment operator here. Basically assignment operator is not an equality operator. Basically the sign of assignment operator is this, but it is not for equality, for checking equality. Basically it is to assign one value to a variable. Understand? So at the left hand side we have to keep a variable. It must be a variable so that it can hold the value that we are going to supply. Okay, and at the right hand side you can put anything like constant. You can put also, like you can also write like this, int z equal to y. You can write expression also. You can also use some variable or some expressions also, like you can write x into y divided by 3, something like this. So you can write you can use some expression also. So this expression will get evaluated, and after evaluation it is going to be transferred to this z. Okay, one more thing, there is operator precedence or priority in Java also, as there was a priority system in the maths also, like BODMAS rule was there, that which operator will work if there are more than one operator in an expression, then which will be evaluated first. So in this way Java also has operator precedence rules. Okay, so on the basis of those operator precedence rules, the operator with higher priority will be executed or evaluated first, and then the the next level of priority, that operators will be executed. So if we talk about these arithmetic operators that we have just learned, then in arithmetic operators this multiplication, division and mod division have higher priority as compared to plus and minus. So wherever suppose you write it like x plus y divided by 3, then y divided by 3 will be evaluated first and then then the result will be added to x. If you don't want this, then you can put parenthesis like this, and the priority of parenthesis is highest. So in such condition x plus y will be added and then it will be the sum total will be divided by 3. Understand? So you must be aware of this operator precedence rules while performing with these operators or while writing expressions. One more thing, if there is an expression such that zx plus y minus 4. Okay. So in this case, you can see that plus and minus both have same precedence level or same priority, but they both are present in one expression. So if if operators with same precedence are present in any expression, then we have to follow the associativity rule. So there are various associativity rules for arithmetic operator. The associativity rule is from left to right. So the operation will be performed from left to right. That means x plus y will be calculated and then the result will be subtracted. Then the 4 will be subtracted from the result. Alright. So these are operator precedence and associativity rules. Now the next comes the increment and decrement operators. So increment decrement operators are actually unary operators, means they require only one variable to operate. Okay. The sign of increment operator is plus plus, while the sign of this decrement operator is minus minus. So the increment operator does nothing but it adds one value to the variable. Whatever values you will supply to this operator, it will add 1 to that value. In the same way, the decrement operator will subtract 1 from the given value. Okay. So this is the basic increment and decrement operator. But we can write it, the increment decrement operator in two ways. The number one is postfix 1 and the number 2 is prefix. Okay. In postfix, it is written as x plus plus, or if it is decrement operator, then it will be written as x minus minus. While in prefix, it will be written as plus plus x, and if it is decrement, then it will be written as minus minus x. So this is postfix increment operator, this is postfix decrement operator, this is prefix increment operator, and this is prefix decrement operator. What is the difference between this postfix and prefix? Okay, so there is a slight difference. In case of postfix, the result, this value will be assigned first or used, and then afterwards it will get incremented. Okay, while in the case of prefix, the value will be incremented or decremented and then afterwards it will be assigned. Okay, so what is the meaning? So just we see this example. Like I have written here y equal to x plus this, and now I am going to print both the values like system dot out dot print. I am going to print both the values x and y. Okay, so I will write x equal to and y equal to what? Y. Alright, so what will happen in this statement? The value of x is 43, so the value 43 will be assigned to y. Alright, so y will become 43. After that it will be incremented, so x will become 44. So let's see and compile it and let's see the results. Yes, x equal to 44 and y equal to 43. Same is the case with decrement. Okay, if you are going to decrement it, then what will happen? The value of x is 43. This 43 will be assigned to y. So the value of y will become 43 and afterwards x will be decremented. So x will become 42. Okay. Again let's see. Yes, x equal to 42 and y equal to 43. So this is the result. Now what about the prefix operation? Yes. Now if you will use prefix increment operator, then what will happen? 43 will be incremented first, so it will become 44. Okay, so x will become 44 and this 44 will be assigned to y. So y will also become 44. Okay. Yes, so both the values are 44, right? Yes. So in this way, these increment and postfix increment and prefix increment decrement operators. Okay. So if you understood this much, means arithmetic operators, assignment and increment decrement operators, then please press the like button and then we will continue. Okay. Now the next category is relational operators. So relational operators are basically, these are also binary operators and these operators are used to compare any two values. Okay. So simply these are less than, then there is greater than sign, and then less than equal to, then greater than equal to, then equal to, and not equal to. So these are 6 relational operators that are used to compare any two values, any two given values. So and the important thing is that these relational operators compare two values and give you answer in true or false. So the result will be either true or false. So let's say you write system dot out dot print, okay, and you write 10 greater than 5. Okay, so 10 is greater than 5. No, we know that 10 is not greater than 5. So the result will be false. Okay, so let's compile this and the answer is 2. True. So we know that x is greater than 5. So the answer is true. Alright. So this is the relational operator, and in the same way, and also one more important thing, that relational operators actually work with integer values, floating point values, and as well as character values, and this equal to and not equal to even work with boolean values. And one more important thing that is this equal to sign also works with string values. So suppose we have to compare two strings, then also we can use this equal to operator. Alright, so strings we are going to learn further. So there you can use to compare two string values with this equal to sign also. So this is a very useful thing. Now we come to the logical operators. Logical operators. Logical operators, basically there are 3 logical operators. One is AND, one is OR, and one is NOT. So AND and OR operators, these are binary operators. These are used to combine two relational expressions. So but the NOT operator, the logical NOT operator, is actually a unary operator, and it converts basically true to false and false to true. So it is basically the logical NOT operator. So we are going to see one by one all these operators. So first of all we will see this AND operator. So what is the logic of this AND operator? The logic is that if there are two values, okay, two relational expressions, and it is going to check them whether these first of all those relational expressions will be evaluated, because the priority of relational expression is greater than the logical operator. So first of all relational expression will be evaluated. Suppose there is written like 10 is equal to 9, which is obviously false, and suppose there is return 2 is less than 50, which is true actually. So first of all, these two relational expressions will be evaluated. So 10 is equal to 9. Is this true or false? This is false. So this is false, and 2 is less than 50. This is true. So false and true. So what is AND operator is going to do? So the rule is that for AND operator, if both the values are true, then the result is true. Okay. If both the values are false, then the result is false. If one value is true and other is false, then also the result is false. And if one first value is false and the second value is true, then the result is also false. So if any of the value is false, okay, so it is going to return false. It will give you true only in one condition, and the condition is that both should be true. If both are true, then it will return true. Otherwise, it is going to return you false. So in this particular example, what will be the answer? Because one value is false and one is true. So if there is one false, then it is going to return false. Understand? But if you are doing same thing for OR, suppose we write 10 is equal 9, or 2 is less than 50. Then again the equation will become like false or true. So in case of OR, if both values are true, then it is going to return true. If one value, if any of the value is true, then it is going to return you true. So first is true, second is false, the answer will be true. If first is false, second is true, then also the answer is true. If both are false, in that condition only you are going to get false. Okay. So false or true, the answer will be true. Alright. And what NOT does? The logical NOT operator. Suppose you have written like NOT 10 is equal 9. Then it will become like NOT 10 equal to 9 is false. So not false is equal to true. So it will convert false to true and true to false. So these are basically the AND, OR and NOT logical operators. So we can take one example also. System.out.println, and we can put this example 10 is equal to 9 and 2 is less than 50. Yes, the result of logical operator is also always, it is either true or false. So here we are going to put the sign of OR, and here we are going to put the sign of NOT. Okay. So 10 equal to, this is going to be false, this is going to be true, and 2 is less than 50 is actually true, so it will going to be become false. Yes, false, true and false, as you can see. Okay, so these are logical operators, and basically the relational operators, relational expressions and logical expressions, these are used in looping statements, looping conditions, and also in if-else conditions, if conditions, if and else if conditions. So the next one is conditional operator. So conditional operator is the only ternary operator. It requires 3 operands. So the syntax is like condition is there, condition, then question mark, then statement 1, then colon, then statement 2, and then semicolon. So this is the basically conditional operator. So first of all, condition will be executed, condition will be evaluated. If condition is true, then statement 1 will be executed, and if condition is false, then statement 2 will be executed. Okay, one of the statement, either statement 1 or statement 2 will be skipped on the basis of the condition, okay, whether it is true or false. So one of them will be executed, one of them will be skipped. Okay, so basically these are used in place of if and if condition, if else conditions, we use conditional operators. These are one line statements and we can use them in place of if else. Okay, so how can we do this? Like we can write int big equal to, we can put condition a greater than b, then question mark, then a, then colon, and then b, and then semicolon. So whatever the value will be bigger like a or b, then that value will be assigned to this variable big. So let's say int a equal to 30 and b equal to 100. Okay, and then we are going to print system out dot print and big, and then saving. Okay, so let's see. Yes, 100. So 100 is the larger value, so it will get printed. So this is conditional operator. Now the last category of operator is bitwise operators. If you want notes of all the topics of Java, okay, so you can visit the website www.lectureloops.com. Here, there you will find the notes about all these operators. So you need not to worry about the notes study material. You can get all study material there. Okay. So bitwise operators are basically, these are also binary operator. Only one bitwise operator, that is complement. It is actually the unary operator, and rest all the bitwise operators are binary operators. Bitwise operators actually work with they work bit by bit. Okay, so they work bitwise, so that's why they are called bitwise operators. Alright, so they perform operations on binary values, and more specifically on the bits of these binary values. So how they work? So first of all, we will see the bitwise complement operator. So suppose you have written like complement 10. Okay, so 10 is integer. Suppose 10 is some integer number. Okay, and you have written complement 10. Then what will happen actually? 10 will be converted to binary. Suppose I am taking the value as 8-bit number. Okay, 8-bit binary number. So let's it will be converted to binary and it will become 1010. And afterwards we are making it complement. So in complement, basically it will convert zeros to ones and ones to zeros. So it will become 0 1 0 1. So this will be the complement of 10. Okay, so in this way bitwise complement work. Now the next one is bitwise AND. So the symbol we use is this bitwise AND, and this is actually the binary operator, so it requires two values. So suppose I write 10 and 11. Okay, so what will happen? First of all, we will convert it into binary, so it will become 0 1 0, and 11 will become 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 1. Okay, now we'll perform AND operation. AND operation has the same logic, that was there in the logical AND operator. So the basic logic is there. If both the values are 0, then the answer will be 0. If the answer will be 1 only in one condition, and that condition is that both the bit values should be 1. If both the bit values are 1, the answer will be 1, otherwise it will be 0. Okay, so first of all, 0 and 0 is 0. Again 0 and 0 is 0. 0 and 0 is 0. 0 and 0 is 0. Then 1, 1. 1 and 1 is 1. Then 0 and 0 is 0. Then 1 and 1 is 1. Then 0 and 1 is 0. So the answer will be basically the 10. Okay. Now the next one we'll see bitwise OR operator. The symbol is a single pipe, and again we will perform 10 or 11. Then what will happen? In the same way it will become like OR. Okay. Now what is the logic behind bitwise operator? It will give you 0 only if both the bits are 0. If any of the bit is 1, then it is going to return 1. Okay. So first of all, there are 4 zeros here and 4 zeros here. So the answer will be like this. And then there is 1 and 1. So the answer will be 1. Again 0 and 0. Then answer 0 or 0 is 0. Then 1. And this 1 will be 1 here. Then 0 and this 1 will also give you 1. So the final answer will be 11. Okay. Then there is bitwise XOR or exclusive OR operator. The symbol is like this, caret sign. And suppose again we are taking the same example, 10 XOR 11. So it will become XOR Now what is the logic of XOR operator? If both the values are same, then the result will be 0. If values are different, then the answer will be 1. Okay, so here we will see 4 zeros here and 4 zeros are here. So all these are same. Okay, both the bits are same, 0 and 0. So the answer will be 0, 0, 0, 0. Now see this one here and this one here. Both bits are same. So the answer will be again 0, then 0, and also here 0. Okay, so both bits are same, so the answer will be 0. Here it is 1, again it is 1, so again both bits are same, so again the answer will be 0. But in the least significant bit, in the last bit, there is 0, and here it is 1. So both bits are different, so it will be 1. So finally the answer will be 1. Okay. Now 3 more bitwise operators are remaining. Number 1 is bitwise left shift operator. Basically left shift operator is actually, this is bitwise left shift operator. So bitwise left shift operator is actually equivalent to multiplying by 2 any number. Okay, so let's see. And it is also a binary operator, so it will be written as 10 2. So what is the meaning of this? That we have to shift number 10 2 times. Okay, or we can say by 2 bits or 2 positions we have to shift this towards left. Okay, so suppose this is your value 10 1 0 1 0. Now you have to shift it 2 positions, or you can say you have to shift it 2 times towards left. So it is going to shift from here to here towards left, and then again from here to here. So the whole number will be shifted to here, and the empty positions, the remaining empty positions will be filled with zeros. Okay, so it will become 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 0. Okay, so basically what it is actually 1 2 4 8 16 and 32. So 32 plus 8 is actually 40. So the answer will be 40. So basically you can see that it is equivalent to multiply by 2. So basically you are multiplying 10 once. So it will become 20, and then again because here is 2, so you are shifting 2 times. So you are actually multiplying by 4. So it will become 10 into 4, that is 40. In the same way, there is bitwise. Just vice versa of this operator is bitwise right shift operator, and it is written like this. And here also you have to supply two values. One will be the number on which we have to perform the right shift operation, and the second value is actually will tell us that how many times we have to shift it, or how many bits, by how many bits we have to shift it. Okay, again we are taking the same example, and now you have to shift it towards right. So the values, the bits that will be shifted towards right, they will be lost. Okay, so this one will get lost. Okay, and the remaining empty positions will be filled with 0. So it will be like, and like this, and 1 0. So basically the answer is 2. So it is equivalent to dividing by 2. So 10, if you divide it once, it will give you 5. And then again if you divide 5 by 2, then you will get 2 as the quotient. So basically here is the answer as 2. Understand? Now there is one more operator, bitwise right shift filled with 0. So right shift fill with 0. So if it works with, yeah, there are 3 times. So if we work with actually positive values, so it is going to give you the same result as the right shift operator. So if you perform like this, then you will again get the answer as 2. It performs differently with negative values, because basically it fills with 0 all the bits, remaining, the leftmost remaining bits, it will fill with 0, even the MSB or the most significant bit. And in computer, sometimes the most significant bit is used as a sign, sign bit. So it fill that sign bit also with 0. Okay. So this is the difference between right shift and right shift filled with 0. So all these are, bitwise operators. So let's, make a program, simple program, so that you can understand how they work. Okay. So let's take two integers. Covered all the bitwise operators here. So let's execute this. Yes, you can see that complement x is here minus 11, then x and y is 10, then x or y is 11. We have already, computed these, and then x left shift, you can see it is 40, x right shift is 2, and right shift filled with 0, 2, because both the values are same, because we are not using negative values here. So this is there, and now we can do one thing, is that we can change the value as x equal to minus 10. Okay, and then we will see how this, we'll only see the right shift and the right shift filled with 0. We want to see the difference between these two. Okay, performing differently with negative values. This is all about the operators, and please subscribe if you want to learn about Java. So subscribe and press the bell notification button, so that you will get notification as soon as a new video is released and uploaded. Okay, thank you very much.